any good platformer needs multiple different special platforms that you can jump on that have special effects, things like bounce platforms, moving platforms, speed boosts, slows. So we're going to start with making some of these. Let's go and do a moving platform first. So we're going to compile first, and then we're going to create C# script, and we're going to call this moving platform. So it didn't open. Okay, let's open moving platform. Back over here. Alright, so we're gonna need a few variables for this. So first, let's start with our game object. We want this to be serializable so we can access this, and we're going to call this the platform. We're going to have another serializable. We're going to have a float, and we're going to call this duration. And then we're going to have some transforms. Now, when you declare multiple of a variable, you can just put a comma in like that, and I can have a left and right transform that have been declared. Then we need a float. This one can be private. I'm going to call this one time. We're also going to need a percent float. And we're going to set that equal to 0. Great. Now, we're going to leave start for now, but we don't actually need it for this part of the code, but I'm going to add something else at the end. But let's start by looking at the functionality of this. So let's start with ticking up our time. So we want time to plus equal time dot delta time, and then we want percent to equal time over duration. Great. We also want a bool. I'm going to call this bool complete. All right. So now we're going to use some of these. So we're going to run if time is less than duration. Then what are we going to do? And then we're going to go if not complete. So this will be the first movement. We're going to go platform dot transform dot position is equal to vector free dot lerp, and then we're going to feed in left dot position, right dot position percent. Perfect. So a lerp uses a percentage value between 0 and 1 to pick a position between the two mentioned positions, and it's going to transition through it. So we're slowly ticking up our percent, and we're going to go from A to B. Now, we don't want our platform just to go from A to B. We want it to go back to A and then back and forward. So that's why we have this complete variable. So we're going to write else after this, and then we're just going to copy this code across. So now it's doing the same thing, but we're going to switch our left and right positions around. So we're going to go so now when it's not complete, we're going to go from left to right. And then when it is complete, because we won't enter that if statement anymore, we'll go into the else, we'll go from right to left. So now that is a moving platform, but we also don't reset or alter our complete variable. So we need to handle that as well. So let's go else down here. So when our time is more than our duration, if actually we're going to go complete equals not complete. So now it's going to change to the opposite of whatever it is, and time equals 0. Now each time becomes greater than duration, it will no longer be able to enter into our lerp functions, and it will instead go here. It will swap complete to the opposite of what it was, and then it will set our time to 0. Now, there's one more thing I want to add, and that is an offset. So sometimes you have multiple platforms, and a quick, easy way to add some offsets to them is like this. So you go serialize field, let's go float for this one, and call it offset, and then we're going to go time minus equals offset, and now we can set that offset to whatever we like. So say if we set offset to free, then time will minus free off. This offset will be minused off time, making it negative free, so that the time won't start to do anything until it reaches here, because percent will be lower than 0, so it won't function until we reach that point. Okay, so let's remove that. Let's not preset our offset because we're not actually going to use it. Now let's start setting up a platform. Okay, so we're going to let everything load up. So I did typo here. Let's fix our typos first. So that should be a lowercase o. Then it's going to be unhappy because I did that, because it won't be able to find itself. So let's rename that. So that's all perfect. Okay. Alrighty. Now let's go create empty. We're going to call this empty moving platform. Now I've called the variables on this left and right, but they can be up and down too. But let's keep going with this. So moving platform is here. Let's create an empty, create a 3D object cube. I'm going to set its X and Z to 5, and then we're going to set its Y to 0.1. Let's maybe go 0.2. We'll make it a little bit thick. Alright, and then let's make a new material. Let's make it like a light sky blue color. Let's call this material moving platform matte. Okay, and then let's grab the cube and put moving platform matte on it. Okay, now you can see it nice and well. Wow, we'll grab the moving platform and let's just move it down near the player somewhere. Alright, that's sort of close. Alright, let's change the cube's name to platform. Let's create empty. We're going to call this left. We're going to control duplicate it and call this one right. And then let's assign these variables. Let's go left, right, platform, and then let's set our duration to 5. Seems like a reasonable amount. And then let's get left and drag it a bit this way, and grab right and drag it a bit the other way. Now when we press play, it should move back and forward. Perfect. So as you can see, it moves back and forward. It takes 5 seconds, gets back and forward. But there's a problem here. So when the player jumps on top of this, it doesn't take them with it. It's just going to slide underneath the player. So we're going to need some code to fix this up. See you in the next video.